I think it had to do with exaltation. And what exactly is that?
Let me explain kind of what I've been looking at. There are eternal laws, and let me just give you an example of those, a few examples. And the primary one is that no unclean thing can dwell in the presence of God. That's even defined in the Book of Mormon as justice. Justice is that no unclean thing can dwell in the presence of God. Another statement is, another one that would cause God to cease to be God, is mercy cannot rob justice, or God would cease to be God. That means that mercy cannot allow, is what God could not allow something unclean to dwell in his presence. Mercy cannot rob justice. You can't change that, no matter how much a person wants to or believes that.
What I find interesting in the comments here so far is both of those comments, that no unclean thing can dwell in the presence of God and that justice cannot be robbed by mercy, are both tied to the fall and the atonement. As far as I can understand, unclean means sin, and yet Adam and Eve did not sin. They transgressed, but they did not sin. So the question that arrives to my mind is, are we going to say that transgressions make you unclean? A question to be considered, because if that were the case, then that would have been the reason why they could not be in the presence of God. Is it possible that you're clean, but you didn't obey and did not sin, and therefore you could still be cast out? I don't know. That would be something that would be interesting to consider. And, any thoughts from the viewers and listeners on that. But as far as I can understand so far, is unclean means to sin, but sin does not come into effect until you come to this fallen earth. Sin did not exist in the Garden of Eden. So mercy would not have robbed anything because there was no sin. There was no unclean thing. So just something that I think I'll probably dig into a little later in some personal study.